Hi, Coach Patrick here, Endurance Nation, back with another episode. This episode, I'll be talking to you a little bit about our holiday run challenge. This is a fun way to end your season and to put yourself in a position where you can enter the new year feeling confident, having some good run mileage under your belt, and kind of replaces the need to have an event, really, because you've got a good personal challenge. Speaking of personal challenges, one of my favorite parts about it is it's just an opportunity for you to be as successful as you want to be inside the space. So for some of you, it might just mean get a couple consistent days of running in. For others, you might have specific mileage goals, or perhaps you're chasing an elusive end of year run mileage total target. And this is your chance to push over the top, whatever that impetus may be or the motivation for you. This is the time to do it. But first, let me give you a little backstory on this holiday run challenge. So many, many years ago, we struggled with our athletes who were really in a bind with their travel at the end of the year. So that time at the end of December, whatever your observations may be, becomes tough. Collectively, many of us take off a large portion of the end of the year, a week, or maybe even more, depending on how the days fall out. But we're not necessarily working, and we may even not be at home. The weather is not exactly perfect, and many of the places where we would go train are closed. As a result, we sort of hit a position where we're really struggling to stay on track and do so in a meaningful and easy to accomplish way. Enter the Holiday Run Challenge. Now, you may be a non runner, and if that's okay, you can kind of go do something else. That's totally fine by me. But what I think about in terms of this Holiday Run Challenge is an opportunity for us to do focused, deliberate work in a way that's progressive, builds from day to day, adds up to something in the short term. We see results by the end of the week, and really kind of puts you back in control. The holidays are all about family. They're about fun. They're also about travel and stress, maybe a little bit of nutritional challenges. I've been talking about that in my other episodes. But when we think about what it means to close out the year with intentionality as an Endurance Nation athlete, what I really want to have you do is to focus on what you can control. So, we can't control your location per se, right? Maybe we can't control the options you have at your disposal for training. Maybe we can't even control what you have time availability to do. But we can say, hey, we're going to put this little run challenge in. So that's something that you to kind of rein in some of the factors that are taking away from your ability to dictate what's happening during this period of time, put you back in control to say, you know what, this is really what I want to be doing. This is going to be beneficial to me overall. And it's going to allow me to miss, some of that pool time or some of that cycling time and not be too stressed out about it because I got my short little mini project. It's going to fill this time, right? Remember, the reward here during this holiday run challenge is all about frequency, like running day to day and adding it up and not injury. So we don't want to overreach in any single way. The way the run challenge is structured for those of you who are inside the team is that back to back consistent days are rewarded. You get more points if you run a little bit every single day, and a little bit has to be at least a mile. So we want to make sure we get that in. So if you do all the days and you get at least a mile in, it's a bonus point for each and every day, which makes a big difference. You also get bonus points if it's super cold, like below freezing, and bonus points if you spend mileage, each mile, or kilometers, I guess, if you're metric. We never really went there, over threshold. We try to make it equal for everybody. So let's just stick with a mile or 1,600 in terms of meters. And it was an opportunity to sort of say, if you can't run 10 miles a day, but if you can do and get 10 points, but you could do 5 miles, but have 3 of them be at intensity. That's 5 miles plus 3 at intensity. That's 8. That's a pretty close proxy for a quality run relative to a long, steady 10-mile easy run. So use the scoring mechanism appropriately to make sure that you're focused on the frequency piece and not overreaching in terms of speed or in terms of duration. Every year, somebody throws down a first run, like a mega run, like a 15-mile run or something, just to kind of be ahead in the competition. If that type of competition is your jam, like, I support you. This is a great place to express it outside of a race where I would really, as your coach, be concerned. Here, it's totally safe. However, safety does include your physical safety, right? So don't do something that's going to really aggravate the Achilles or something else that's going to really put you off and in a bad space, right? So take care of your body, have fun, but still be smart, right? Good decisions. Just make good decisions, right? The next piece here, and the reason why we do this holiday run challenge, is that it's kind of a bridge, kind of connects what you've been doing into this holiday block and allows you to get to the other side and say, you know what, not so bad. Like, I took a slight detour, but I'm only a little off track that I can get back on. So whatever your focus may be, if it's not running, if it's some other form of aerobic activity, this is that bridge. This is the time of year where it's most important because we have potentially anywhere from like a 7 to like a 9 or even 10-day hole in your normal training. which is not the end of the world, but it can set you back. Remember, it's going to take you a while to get back into it. So if you have to take the time off and you're disrupted, by the time you get back and get back into training and back on schedule, we're talking about not a 10-day or 9-day hole. We're kind of almost doubling that, or at least 150%ing it, saying 13 or even 18 days to kind of get back into it. We don't want to lose 18 days, and we don't have to if you're strategic about it, right? Remember that it also, by saying you're doing this holiday run streak with Endurance Nation, kind of gives you permission to do it, right? Because you said you were doing it. So everyone's like, oh, you're doing the streak. Like, are you going to go streak? Because it's fine. If you said, I'm going to be super selfish and go off and run every single day, no matter what you folks are doing, that won't work out. But hey, keep it positive. Part of a streak. Who doesn't like someone who wants to be part of a streak? It's so motivating. Like to do that, right? Okay, great. Now, the next piece I want you to think about too is what it means to exit this streak period, the holiday period, and get back to your regularly scheduled training. Now, this is kind of tricky because everyone's holiday block works out differently. For some, they have more time. For some people, they have less time. For some people, they just had inclement weather and they could run, but it was like snow or crazy conditions that were actually more stressful, and so on. So, presuming that you stayed healthy, you navigated things safely, and at least got some form of training in on a consistent basis, your return to getting back to your regularly scheduled training shouldn't take that long. Usually, what I tell people is that first quality session back, that first Tuesday quality session, that's a tough one. But by the time you get to Thursday, you should be all right. So all you really need is about 3 days to kind of ease back into it, presuming you've been on track. And all we're doing now is just changing modalities and getting back to your regularly scheduled workout time and all of those other pieces. If you've had more time off during this holiday block, or more consequences or challenges that have come up during the holiday block, you're going to need more time commensurately on the other side to feel as though you're ready to get back to training. And in that case, it may take even a week to sort of feel normal. And as you're re-emerging into your regular schedule, what I would say is spend the time listening to your body, get back into your regular schedule in terms of like sleep, in terms of nutrition, start building that muscle back in. So when you're like, okay, I can still get up at this time, I can still do these things, then we can sort of say like, all right, I'm ready to get back into my regular training. Just coming back and forcing it, like getting off a plane, super exhausted, threw stuff in the laundry, but just passed out, and then getting up at 4 a.m. the next morning to try and do a training session, you're only setting yourself up for worse downstream consequences because of it. So we don't want to be, sort of putting ourselves in a disadvantaged position intentionally, simply by making poor choices. Really spend time thinking about how you're going to exit this period, not just about the value of the run challenge, which you'll learn more about as we get closer to the holiday period, but also just thinking, sort of specifically about how this flow works and how you're going to not only flow into this block, but also exit it to get back into your regular training, right? And then finally, hey, like pro tip, if you're going to do a run streak over the holidays, you're going to need new shoes. So really, you're not getting the new shoes as a present. These new shoes are part of my run streak. So everyone still has to get you a present, right? So you still get shoes and presents. It's like the double double. It's like birthday on a holiday. It's like a win-win. So definitely do yourself a favor. Support your local run streak by adding good pair of run shoes to the schedule, and don't let anybody else count it as a present. They still have to get you something. That's what I'm saying. It's official from Coach Patrick, and if you need a letter from me, just send me a message. I'll do it right away. Have a fantastic holiday season, everyone. I wish you the best. I hope to see your name in our runs challenge spreadsheet where we track everyone's progress, or inside our Strava group as well. Otherwise, I'll see you as we emerge into the new year and tackle the next year with total vengeance. We'll get after it and have a fantastic season. All right. Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon.